And welcome to the Movie Madhouse. I'm Rob.
I'm James.
I'm Jason.
And we are here. How you guys doing?
I'm good.
The laptop. So
laptop's good. It's not an iPhone, right?
Oh, shush.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to get that dig in, right?
Yeah.
Well, busy putting together the new studio, and I can't wait for you guys to get here and try this out.
Yeah. How's the moving going?
Goodish.
Goodish.
Yeah, we're still plugging along. It's just basically picking up the little stuff now and figuring out what we're keeping and what we're not.
Yeah, that's the tricky part. Been there many times.
Yeah, I told Christina I'm dying here, so doesn't matter.
All right.
No more moving for me. Until next time.
Until next time, exactly.
Right. Okay. So it looks like James still feverishly working on his list.
No. I had made a couple last minute adjustments, but it started to look like a mess. So I'm just quickly rewriting the list.
Oh, because that way you will know that it looks good because no one can see it.
Let me get this out of the way because I don't know if either of you saw the comments to the post. Okay.
I did.
Either of you have The Predator from 2018 on your list?
I do not.
Hell no. That movie's awesome.
Okay, right. Well, see, Ryan Haskell mentioned this. He does not like that movie, and he thought it would be on the list.
I would put
that movie.
I'd put Predator 2 on the list before I'd put The Predator.
I think Requiem is the only one that I haven't gone back to at some point.
I love that one as well. The only one I don't love is Predator 2.
Oh, see, I love Predator 2.
I enjoyed Predator 2 a lot too. It's not my favorite, but
it's been a long time though.
Danny Glover, Bill Paxton,
Gary Busey.
Like
the birth of
Predator, the Predator connects to that one.
The what?
The Predator, the one the 2018 one,
yeah,
connects to Predator 2 because Jake Busey's in it as a scientist, and he is the son of Gary Busey's character.
Yep.
That is
connected.
That is true.
Oh, look, our fan is here. Greg. Hey, everyone. How's it going in chat?
Hi, Greg.
Even the one traffic light breaks down once a week. We changed it to a sign. Oh, and here's Matt. Hey, guys. Blues Brothers 2000. Really needed?
Shit.
That'll probably come up in conversation at some point.
I forgot about that one. Oh, my goodness.
Now he's got to rewrite his list.
Let's see.
I just might.
Yeah, it's going to come up in conversation.
Okay, well, then let's get to it. The top 10 worst sequels. And I saw someone said we should put a qualifier on this because direct-to-video usually sucks. And I say, if it's on your list, it's on your list. We're not going to keep it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And again, this always comes down to this is our personal opinions. Opinions don't matter. Everybody's got one. Blah blah blah. When I'm having fun and getting all riled up, it's blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the Predator real quick. The movie's fucking awesome. It's just a balls to the walls, just goofy fun. Everybody's perfect. And I just rewatched it again like less than a week ago. And I'm sorry, Keegan-Michael Key and Thomas Jane's, the Coyle and Baxley, their whole arc is when you really look at it, it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I have a blast with that one.
So sorry, go back. What did you pop something up there and I didn't see it? Sorry.
Greg said, when is the top 10 countdown when is the top countdown 10 episodes of How I Met Your Mother episodes?
Never.
Well, Greg, once you learn to spell
this isn't
or
the
speak,
TV Madhouse. I've never watched the show and I have no desire to.
No, that'll be right after the top 10 Blossom episodes. I guarantee you.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Can't see us doing the top 10 Blossom episodes. So, Then he said Hamlet 2. No, Gandhi 2.
Gandhi too.
All right, let's jump into this with number 10. Jason, what do you got?
Well, it was already mentioned. Blues Brothers 2000 from 1998. It to my mind and for my recollections, it was the first, 20-year sequel. Like it had been that long since the last one. It was the first time they'd done it, and it was so disappointing.
Which one was this one again?
Blues Brothers 2000.
All right. I had just started to rearrange my list, and it was totally screwing it up, so I'm leaving it off. I apologize.
No. It's your list. You can make it whatever you want.
But it is awful.
Yeah.
I have never watched. I watched it once. It left a bad taste in my mouth because even back then, Blues Brothers was a prized movie for me.
Yeah.
It was even before I would flat out say it was my favorite movie. It was always in that list, and yeah, it felt sad. It just felt sad because it's just not the same without John.
Well, with that, I think story played a large part of it as well. Because even the story wasn't that good, but you're right. Without John, it's not really the Blues Brothers.
I mean, Goodman is great, okay, and given what he had, Goodman is Goodman. That's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough because it was Blues Brothers. It was the first long awaited one, and one of the first was, did we really need it?
I think Matt's right on that one. Nope. We could have passed.
Yeah.
All right, James, what do you got for number 10?
My number 10 from 2008, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Ha! Honorable mention.
I put it at 10 because it's pretty insane, but it is a well-made, pretty insane movie. So I can't fault the quality. Just George, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
And okay. Steven Spielberg, who can be very hit and miss.
We can get past the Crystal Skull, alien, interdimensional stuff, but that monkey swinging with Shia LaBeouf, it's like, no, just whole bunches of no there.
Well, I totally blocked that out. I just keep thinking the alien Crystal Skull stuff, and when you coin a phrase, when your movie coins a phrase that beats Jump the Shark, well,
yep, nuke the fridge,
nuke the fridge, yeah.
Yep. Mike says it's terrible. I'm not sure if he means Blues Brothers or Indy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got a good point though. A pretty picture of poop is still a picture of poop. It doesn't matter how pretty it is.
I just watched Crystal Skulls like a week ago for the first time.
No, he was
really.
I had not watched it because I never heard anything good about it.
I saw that in the theater,
and I just stayed away from it. I'm like, I just don't need it. And then I just recently watched Raiders again, and Raiders is just so much fun. But I realized I haven't gone back to Temple of Doom ever.
Same here.
I just watched it, and he says it was horrible. So I don't want to disagree with him because, and I haven't gone back to Last Crusade, even though I hear that's a better sequel. Yes.
Oh my God, yeah.
But I don't go back to Indiana Jones. So Kingdom of the Crystal Skull made an honorable mention because I've always, for some reason, been holding Indiana Jones a little higher in my hierarchy than what he really is. He is treasured, but he's not in my top pantheon. He's not in my Mount Rushmore.
It's Harrison Ford. He's on every Mount Rushmore. It's just
don't worry. Harrison Ford, Han Solo is on the Rushmore. Okay, but not Indy.
All right. Well, I'll take that one.
Okay, he's still there. But Crystal Skull, to me though, what really bothered me though, it looked horrible. It looked like I could tell when it was on a soundstage.
There were parts. You're 100% right.
A lot of parts.
Yeah.
A lot of parts. Like pretty much every scene that was in a soundstage, I could point it and go, that's a soundstage.
Yep.
That was extremely noticeable. But I absolutely loved the chemistry between Indy and Marion.
Oh, big time.
Everything with them was great. I didn't mind. I did not mind Shia. Okay.
No, me either.
What he did, he was good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the movie is fun. It is absolutely fun. But it's just, it can't hold it to a high standard.
Ryan says, from what I'm reading, the next sequel is supposed to be worse, according to, and it can't be, because the odd number indie movies are amazing. 1 and 3. It's like the even number Star Trek films. 2, 4, and 6 are phenomenal.
You're not wrong. This is absolutely going to be the farewell film. This could be the one that this could be going out on a grand slam.
No, you're going to see Bubba Jones. You know, he'll be in a retirement home, and a mummy will attack. Just like Bubba Hotep. It's just, exactly. All right. Well, my number 10 might draw a little fire, but for me, this is when the franchise died. You know, now I did like the very, very last one that came out, but to me, this is where it died. It's Rambo First Blood Part 2. I hated the direction it went to, that pure action, as opposed to what First Blood was.
That was the only one I really liked out of the original trilogy.
I'm not surprised. I am not surprised.
Out of the original trilogy, I mean, I never thought I'd say it, but Last Blood kicked the crap out of the Rambo 4. And I didn't think that was possible.
See, my hierarchy is First Blood, Last Blood, and then everything else you can just interchange numbers. Like, don't get me wrong, I will watch them. I did watch them. I'll probably never watch them again, but that was, to me, a bad point in the franchise, is when it went that direction instead of sticking to what it had with the cerebral, you know, PTSD Vietnam vet.
It's kind of how a lot of people criticized when Aliens did it. Aliens shifted genres, and a lot of people thought, oh, it's not the same. It doesn't have the creepy horror factor and all that. No, they gave you more action with your horror, you know?
Yep.
It's the same thing. Just unfortunately, it just didn't work in this case.
Well, it's because literally in Aliens, you have the Marine Corps, you know?
Yeah.
You got one guy who's supposedly, it's like, dude, just stick with what you should have stuck with.
See, I honestly have not, if I watched it, it was so long ago, but that movie sticks with me because of a kind of a trauma in a weird way.
Really?
I was ill. Like, I was sick with a flu or something. I was running a high fever and whatnot, and I did not have a bedroom door. I had one of those slatted, slide curtain things.
Yeah.
So no sound buffer. And my dad was watching this movie in the living room.
Fever dream.
And I could hear all the explosion and everything. So in my fever dream, I started having a nightmare that the house was exploding and stuff. Yeah. And that has stuck with me my entire life.
I can see that. Ryan said Rambo is top 5 80s action, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I mean. That was a franchise they could have gone separately. They should have stuck with First Blood. But that's just me. Okay, let's get on to number 9. Jason.
Number 9. Going to Superman 4, The Quest for Peace from 1987.
I'd put that as an honorable mention.
At this point, for me, the Superman franchise was the first inkling of like a true, just all for marketing, all for trying to push the whole nuclear arms race political dilemma.
You didn't buy Richard Pryor in a Superman movie? What?
Well, no, that was number 3.
Yeah,
that was number 3, and I like that one. 4 is Nuclear Man.
Right. Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry.
It was they were trying to push the political agenda, and even at like, what was I, 12, 13, it didn't work. It didn't work for me.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I knew it was bad when I was a kid, but I haven't watched it since, so I left it off.
Nice. Good pick. James, number 9.
My number 9 from 1991, I put Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. Again, this is down here because I don't totally dislike it. It was just, it got way too jokey for me. Where it was just silly the whole movie, and like they got Johnny Depp back to do the little PSA, but Tom and Roseanne Arnold in the movie was cringeworthy, and just the Power Glove, and no, it was just I felt bad.
Yeah, I know what you mean there, because you could see it slowly building up to this movie. You know, every movie has more one-liners and more little gags, and it took away from the original Nightmare, which I thought they got back with Wes Craven's A New Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely.
And as jokey as Freddy versus Jason was, it still was super fun to see that one in the theater.
I did that one. I saw in the theater. That was a lot of fun.
I did not. Well, my number 9 is probably going to shock you guys, but it's on here for a darn good reason. 2019's Star Wars Rise of Skywalker.
Really?
Oh. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's only on here for me because they didn't do the trilogy properly. Everything in this film should have been through the trilogy and not just shoved into one film and trying to make things match up that massive telephone game they kept playing. You know? So yeah, that's why it's on here for me.
Interesting.
Oh,
we're going to be circling back to this down the road.
Okay. Okay. What do you guys think about the Jurassic Park franchise? Did we need anything after the original?
Oh shit, I forgot about Jurassic World. Damn it.
I have not seen the last 2 movies, including the one that just came out in theaters. I have not seen that or the one before it.
I really enjoyed Fallen Kingdom. Jurassic World was the one that just got too ridiculous. I forgot about that one.
I didn't mind them, but like Matt says, did we need them? Probably not, because that first movie is great all by itself.
Yes.
You know,
I've never gone back to any of the sequels. Period. I've watched them once, except for those last 2, and that's it. I've never gone back.
I always forget what Jurassic Park 3 is even about.
Is that the one with Jeff Goldblum?
No.
Yes.
That was the one where Sam Neill came back. And
two was with Goldblum.
Yeah.
Okay. Might have to rewatch 3.
Three was an early Vince Vaughn movie. I think he was a cameraman.
Oh, and that is very right. William H. Macy and Tia Leone.
Yeah.
Because they're the parents of the kid that was parachuting beside the island. Oh, now it's coming back to me. That's right. I thought that was 2.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I got to rewatch it.
See, I haven't gone back. I don't know.
Okay, well, let's jump to number 8 then. What you got, Jason?
Number 8, 2013's Grown Ups 2.
I never saw either of those.
See, I'm now starting to shift into where this category had to go for me is how angry do they start making me?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's where I'm getting to now.
I'm not there yet.
Grown Ups 2 is where it starts because Grown Ups 1 to me is great. It has just the right amount of, the Gen X nostalgia, getting back together with old friends and all that, but with enough little Adam Sandler goofiness, that it's fun. But I'm
not quite at the angry part yet.
The angry part is that Grown Ups 2, in my opinion, they kind of shit all over it to make it more of a frat boy American Pie-ish kind of flick.
Right.
I can see that.
And it has just too many really lame jokes. And Shaq is funny, but he's funny in small doses. And yeah, it made me a little bit angry to watch that movie, and I refuse to watch it again.
I have to confess, I've watched it, but I don't remember it.
That's a good thing then.
Traumatic experience, maybe.
It could be. It's just a self-defense mechanism,
right? Brain shut
memory,
save itself.
Collective memory.
All right, James, what do you got for number 8?
Number 8, I have from 1999. I have Candyman: Day of the Dead.
I forgot about that one.
Candyman, yeah, it's forgettable. Candyman is a classic. Candyman 2, Farewell to the Flesh. is not bad. It was basically a retelling of the first one, just in New Orleans, I think. So they did a good job of just retelling the story and somehow loosely connecting it to the original. Day of the Dead, they just shot to another city. They threw a Baywatch Playmate model, Donna Derrico, in there and just tried to throw shoehorn Candyman into it. And Tony Todd doesn't even like the movie.
That's a sign right there.
It's just it was a very bad, unnecessary sequel.
Definitely did not see it.
You are not missing anything.
I honestly was never a Candyman fan. I remember watching the original movie once. Don't remember much of it. I know we've talked about it and whatnot, but just never got back to it.
The original's amazing. The long-awaited, the one that just came out like last year is also amazing. And then you could forget about the two in the middle.
I think I have.
Here you go.
I do remember Farewell to the Flesh vaguely, but Day of the Dead? Day of
the Dead, yeah. It's
kind of like my number 8 because I watched it and then regretted it instantly. 2004's Dirty Dancing, Havana Nights.
I finally saw that last year. I did not dislike it.
Nope.
Okay, so what do you got to say, Jason?
I haven't watched it because I would only watch that if my wife wanted to, and my wife never wanted to. So neat. I was spared that one.
What did you like about it, James? I gotta know.
As it was, as the movie, just the two characters. I mean, you have Patrick Swayze apparently playing his character in a prequel or something. He didn't hurt the movie, and I thought the story between the two of them was not entirely original, but I didn't have a problem with it.
No. It should have been a standalone story, just rewrite the characters and make it their own. But I have that problem with a lot of sequels and reboots,
Annie?
Now, it only works for so long, Jason, until you actually watch it.
That's right.
No.
Number 7. Jason, should I just write Annie down here now?
No. Oh.
Well, that's also just a remake, not a sequel.
Yes, that's true too.
Number 7 from 2018, Deep Blue Sea 2.
Oh, I did not see that one.
I did, because a friend of mine that I don't hang out with near enough called me up one day and said, "Hey, you want to get together and watch Deep Blue Sea 2?" And I said, "They made a sequel?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Is there anybody carrying over?" And he goes, "No."
Well, they were all eaten.
So we watched it, and it's not a sequel.
So apparently you don't talk to him much anymore after that.
It's not a sequel. Well, no, we do, and we have discussed the possibility of doing a Deep Blue Sea triple bill because Deep Blue Sea 3 came out last year. Yes. Oh, because the Deep Blue Sea 2 left it wide open for a sequel.
So many unanswered questions.
Piranha sharks. Spoilers.
Dude, if we can watch Sharknado, we can watch Piranha Sharks. Okay.
I get it. Yes, but that's the end of the movie. That's the end of Deep Blue Sea 2. But Deep Blue Sea 2 is more like what Evil Dead 2 was to Evil Dead 1.
Mm-hmm.
Where they just retell the same story, only way more less highly productive and cheesy.
Gotcha.
And yes, it made me angry, but because I shared that experience with him, we got to do this damn triple bill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully you can bookend it with entertainment.
No, maybe
something good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bleach.
All right, James, what's your number 7?
Okay, I'm getting close to the angry part, but not just yet. My number 7 is from 2008, and it is Alone in the Dark 2. Now, I understand that Uwe Boll's movies are not high art, I understand that. I understand Jason doesn't enjoy House of the Dead. I do. I also realize how bad it is. I, however, have no problem with Alone in the Dark. I thought Tara Reid was good in it. I thought Christian Slater was in it. Steven Dorff. The effects are fine. It's got an awesome metal soundtrack.
Wait a second. You thought he was good in it, right? Christian Slater?
Yes.
You literally just said, I thought Christian Slater was in it.
No, I thought Christian Slater was good in it.
Okay, clarifying that.
No, you said he thought he was in it. You didn't say
Okay.
good the first time.
He was definitely in
Sorry.
it. So was Tara Reid.
Sorry. I was fine with everyone in it, and I thought the movie was good, and it has a great metal soundtrack. When they announced they were going to do a sequel, they did the sequel, and then they changed the character. They changed him to Rick Yoon, who is the bad guy in the first Fast and the Furious movie. So they changed the ethnicity of the character, which is not a problem, but they totally disconnect the story. It has nothing to do with the first movie. Nobody from the original movie's in it except for the character Edward Carnby, who's now Korean, and it was just disappointing from a standpoint of I really liked the original.
I think that's when a sequel really, plucks your nerves, is when you really like the first one and then that second one. That's like Rambo. I love that PTSD stuff, and then Rambo came out. It was like,
yeah,
so
but just imagine that. So Rambo was all of a sudden Jackie Chan, or just completely. It's and what's worse is because I really like Rick Yoon as an actor. He's awesome, but he was okay in Die Another Day as the bad guy, but he was really good in the first Fast and the Furious movie. So,
okay. Jason.
I just figured out what my first criteria, the first thing a sequel has to pass, the first question, does it shit on the source material? If it shits on the source material in any way that doesn't get explained in a logical way for that, whatever that universe, whatever context, okay, I will allow some wiggle room.
Yeah, I can't. Wiggle room. I can't comment on that because I never played any of the video games that the original movie was based on. I was basing it on it completely ignores the first movie and just completely just throws it all out and starts fresh with something.
I don't even mean like when I say source material, I don't mean like the comic book or the video game it's based on. I mean the first movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a sequel. Don't shit on the original.
Yeah, it's
okay. That's question number one.
Well, my number 7 is the last of the ones that just aren't good before I start to get into my anger. Okay. And it's from 2006, and they should have left good enough alone. Basic Instinct 2.
Oh, you didn't like that one?
I didn't like that one.
Never. No.
I surprisingly, I don't know if I prefer it to the original, but I was impressed with the twist kind of. I didn't like how they totally ignored Michael Douglas's character, but
that's what I mean. Like the shitting on the source material. It's okay. Here's where your building blocks were. People love this building blocks. Build off of it. Don't just make a sudden branch and go, maybe it'll work.
I thought David Morrissey did a good job, and I hadn't seen him as the governor when I watched this movie, but now I look back on it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dang, that was him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we're going to jump into 6, and I'm going to jump the line here just for a second because there's a comment from that. And so this is the beginning of my hate for this one. 1977's The Exorcist 2, The Heretic.
I still have not seen that, but I've never heard a good thing about it.
Talk about garbage. The Exorcist 2 made me embarrassed to be a fan of the cinema. It's not fun.
I've only watched the original once. It's like, I get that is what it is, but it's just not for me.
Well,
not for me.
Sadly, some of the stuff in the 70s and even the early 80s doesn't age well with timing because of the way things are edited nowadays. Even Jaws suffers a bit, because today that film would be cut so different.
Yes, you're right.
I'm not saying it's bad.
I know. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah,
but I don't go to see Jaws. I'll watch Jaws now, but I want to go to the retro. I want to check up. I'm pretty sure Highland Cinema is doing it next month. It's an annual event, and I want to go see it in that theater in the 35 millimeter print.
It's an annual event except for the blip.
Oh, they still have the blip.
That's what we're going to call the last 2 years, the blip.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, they even did it then because they did it outside of the drive-in.
Oh, nice. Okay.
They signed it on the back wall.
Then I stand corrected. Good
But
stuff.
I didn't go, but I just know they did it.
All right, then. Jason, what's your number 6?
My number 6, 1993's RoboCop 3.
Oh, I don't know that I hated that one, but I can see your point.
Oh, first of all, it wasn't Peter Weller.
No, it was
Robert Burke, I think was his name.
Oh, which is a shame because I think he's a really good actor.
I don't even know what else he's done.
It was not Peter Weller. That's all we need to say.
Peter Weller. But the whole jetpack and rocket arm attachments is like, my God, all this was an hour and a half long, nonsensical Saturday morning cartoon and live action commercial for the action figure playsets.
If R2 can have rockets, so can RoboCop. That's all I'm going to say.
No, by 93, my eyes were open to the marketing ploys and bullshit, and nah. Not even the badass ninja robot guy. No, not enough.
Ed 210.
No, the Japanese corporation brought in their badass Yakuza looking robot.
I know. I was making a joke on Ed 209. Ed 210. Yeah. I got to put up the humor flag. Mike, come on. You're supposed to comment. Where's the humor flag? James, number 6.
My number 6 is from 1994. It goes by 2 titles. There's The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, also known as Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. And for being marketed as it was one of the first movies from Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger, and it's awful. I don't know that it's as bad as the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it's pretty bad.
I have no comment. I don't know if I've ever watched it.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I used to see trailers for it on several movies that I'd rent, and you just see like Matthew McConaughey looking menacing and Renee Zellweger looking hot and running away from a guy with a chainsaw. And it was one of those, if looks could kill, he wouldn't need a chainsaw. And no, it's just bad.
Well, Matt says, yes, RoboCop 3 was terrible. I was so let down by it. And they killed off Lewis as well.
You know what also makes me sad about that?
Spoiler alert.
It was written by Frank Miller.
Was it?
Yeah. 2 and 3 were both Frank Miller.
That's right. Brian Haskell says, what Texas Chainsaw is good other than the original?
The remake, Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, Texas Chainsaw, the one that was 3D, Leatherface.
Brian, you got him going.
Almost all except the original. Although I haven't seen the original.
My personal favorite was Texas Chainsaw 2: Electric Boogaloo.
That's the one I haven't seen.
All right, number 5. Jason, what you got?
Number 5. Oh boy, here we go.
The hate, I can feel it. Yes.
2015.
Do it.
The Human Centipede 3, the final sequence.
I only saw the first one, but I heard my friend Dalton told me about the third one, and from that I didn't want to see it.
Yeah, it was. They go meta upon meta.
I had to wash my ears out.
They go meta upon meta, and it was just gratuitous for gratuitous sake, and it made no sense. And of course, like, you can't even qualify what they did on that screen as acting, in my opinion. It was atrocious. And it makes me angry, not because of that, but because the first movie in particular is actually a pretty good, interesting, new horror flick.
It's pretty disturbing.
It's out there. It's disgusting of a concept, but it was original. Never seen anything like it. And the quality of that one is pretty amazingly good. Like looks pretty damn realistic.
Didn't Bela Lugosi do a similar plot? I'm sure. No, with Vincent Price.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. So, yeah, the Human Centipede 3. We're into that territory, and I know it's got its whatever, but no. You see a close up of a man's testicles getting crushed. Okay,
why?
Good question.
No.
Good question. Exactly.
Dude. Quick, James, give me something worse so I can not think of that.
I don't know if it's worse, but this is where I started to get angry. Mine's from 2009, and it's the sequel, Still Waiting. I am such a big fan of the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds, Justin Long, and stuff. I can't believe they got anybody from the original movie to show up in this because it is such a, as Jason would put it, a shit fest on the original.
It is, absolutely. I totally forgot that movie on this list, and it would be on this list somewhere. Mm-hmm. We'll just have to throw it in honorable mentions, but yeah.
And when you get, they take minor characters and throw them into the spotlight as the lead of this, and just Justin Long makes a cameo, and he doesn't like the movie, and you get what was his name? I mean,
Cal was the main character.
Yeah, John Michael Higgins deserves better. He was one of the I think he was the boss in this one. It's like, where the hell did everyone?
John Michael Higgins at that point was like literally popping up in everything because the guy's got to eat. You know, he hadn't quite found his big marks until he got hooked up with Christopher Guest on a regular basis and stuff.
And like some of the coolest characters, like Luis Guzman and Chi McBride's characters, were some of the coolest in the original. They show up in this, and it just. You got a little stink on you from.
Yep, absolutely.
I have to confess, I've never ever seen it.
You don't need to.
No, I've seen the original.
Give it a good, honest restraining order.
Well, then you're gonna love my pick.
Uh-oh.
Number 5 from 1997, the franchise killer. Batman and Robin.
I still have been physically unable to watch it.
Honorable mention.
That one.
I nearly had Batman Forever on the list, but
see, Batman Forever was good but bad. Okay, I can take it or leave it. It was the first one without Tim Burton, and Michael Keaton, but this fourth one, it was just, what can we do wrong? Let's do it.
I tried and I couldn't.
Because Tim Burton and Michael Keaton and Michelle Pfeiffer, and they had made this amazing dark universe. And then you've got George Clooney going, oh, the bad card. I never leave home without it. Oh my God, stop it.
Superman 4. It's marketing the toys.
Mm-hmm.
But in all honesty, we all know that the history there, that trend really started with the first Batman flick. The first Batman flick itself broke records for the amount of marketing that was spent.
Oh yeah,
can't argue with that.
But there's a reason why I've never really been drawn back to that set of Batman. If I go back to Batman at all, and I don't go back to Batman a whole lot, I'm going back to Nolan.
Yes.
Oh, I still watch the first two. I love them.
Yeah, it's just not. I think I need to revisit them because it's been a very long time.
Yes.
But it's just not high on my list.
Well, number 4. Jason, what you got?
We're still in that same territory, but this is a 2. Apologize. This is going to be long-winded, but we're going to go with Feast 2, Sloppy Seconds from 2008, and Feast 4, The Happy Finish from 2009.
Kudos. I forgot about number 2. I still haven't seen number 3.
Oh, I'm putting them both together because they're both just. I was about to say something that would be really bad.
Such a step down. Massive step down.
Exactly. The first Feast film was a solid mysterious monster attack flick. It was a solid effort there. It had just the right amount of cheese, little bit, not taking it as a serious horror flick, but it worked.
Yeah.
2 and 3 to me were just, well, you talk about gratuitous. They are truly the two most vile films I've ever watched.
Wait a minute. You watched Human Centipede.
Why do you think these are number 3?
Yeah, okay. Well, 4.
Or 4. Sorry, they're still higher than Human Centipede.
Yes, that is true. That is true. I have not.
Yeah.
I have not seen
it. Just and it was Ryan LaPlante who did this to me.
Really?
Yes, he was the one that talked it up because of that the last 10 seconds will blow your mind. The last 10 seconds are so worth it.
Yeah, he was totally pulling your chain on there.
Oh my God, mother. Oh, yeah. You know what? God damn it. Fuck you, Ryan LaPlante.
He could be watching.
Yeah, well, for this instance, for you putting that on me. Moving on.
Matt says, Rob, I saw Batman and Robin in the theaters when it opened, and I agree with you so bad.
Yeah.
I sadly saw it in theaters too, and it's like, this is one of the ones I was watching, and I was tempted to leave, but I thought, no, it's going to pick up. Yeah, I never did. Okay. Number 4, James, what you got?
Okay, number 4 from 2009, I have Cabin Fever 2, Spring Fever. Another one, I am a huge fan still to this day of Cabin Fever. It was one of the most fun times I had in the theater. And then Cabin Fever 2 comes out, and Ty West isn't the most exciting filmmaker, but he does make some good, high quality for the budget he has movies. And I don't know what his version of Cabin Fever 2 looked like. I'm sure it looked a lot better than this. The movie got taken away from him. He wanted to take his name off, but because he wasn't part of the DGA, I think they said, no, this gets hung around your neck. So you got Ryder Strong, and I think the what's his name? Deputy Winston, Giuseppe Andrews, the only 2 characters that carry over from the original. And it was really a wasted effort. It just turned into a gross out high school, not comedy, because it was just bad. I can't.
Of all those names you just said, I don't know any of them, including Cabin Fever 2. I didn't even know there was a sequel.
You're better off not knowing. Go skip it and go right to Cabin Fever Patient Zero, because that was a much better direct-to-video sequel. Oh no, it actually got a theatrical release, but it had Sean Astin in it, and the skeleton fight was better than the entire movie of this. And yeah, it's just disappointing.
I'm with you, Jason. I have not seen it.
I never even heard of it. Didn't even know it existed.
I knew it existed because I'd heard the name.
I'm sure Ty West would probably forget it existed too.
I don't even know who that is.
Ty West, House of the Devil, The Innkeepers. He did the most recent X, the movie just called X, where they go to shoot a porn film in the theater. This is a movie podcast, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, but it has to be a movie I've heard of.
Oh, yes. Okay. Oh my God. It's just me then.
Yeah. Wish they marketed that to the rest of
I don't know where. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. X. I have vaguely heard of that. All I heard was there's this new horror movie out called X, and it's getting a lot of buzz. That's all I've heard about it.
Have you seen The Sacrament?
No, never. I had never heard of it.
Oh my God.
I'll save you, James. My number 4. When I heard about this sequel, I was pumped, actually, because I love the first one, and I'm a huge fan of Jamie Kennedy. So I thought, what could go wrong with this film?
Uh-oh.
But in 2005, we found out Son of the Mask.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I've never seen this. And I remember they put this on the marquee, the big giant posters on the side of the building of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Well, they have those in St. Thomas too, and they used to put movie posters on there, and they did that for Son of the Mask. Never saw it, but wow.
I had an automatic reflex to that film.
No,
no, not that kind. I can remember reaching for it on a shelf somewhere, and I literally like a magnet, like opposite. They think like repelling. Like
it repelled you.
My hand couldn't touch it.
Go to reach for it. Whoop.
I just couldn't touch it.
Driving Miss Daisy. No.
For some reason, anytime I've seen it pop up on like one of the movie channels, that's when my internet goes out.
Right. Oh, yeah. Matt says, "Oh no, not Son of the Mask." Rob, you are a brave soul to attempt to watch that. Well, I watched it before I knew it was bad. Yeah.
You were one of the canaries that didn't quite make it.
That's right. I'm dead in the mine shaft with that movie. Okay, now we're getting.
I've never heard about it. I don't doubt it.
Top 3. Here we go. Jason, number 3.
Well, it's bound to pop up on somebody's list, and I'm sure I'm not alone here. We're at 1991's Highlander 2: The Quickening.
I almost put that on there, but I actually saw this before the original Highlander, so I initially didn't think it was that bad because I had no context.
No. I can remember going to this movie, like I barely knew it was even coming. And then I went to see it, and I was all excited. They're how are they doing this again? And they're aliens.
Mm-hmm. I saved this message from Matt. He said it earlier. Not sure if Highlander 2 made your list, but it was another that didn't need to see the light of day. It's my number 1. I've not seen the Renegade cut. Apparently the Renegade cut makes it better. I got to tell you, cut out like half of it, it'll make it better. But I haven't watched the Renegade cut, so I don't know for sure.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it cleared up things much. I really had the same feeling at the end of that as I did at the original. It was just like they didn't change the story hardly at all. I think they may have just ignored the "we're from another planet" thing.
Hey, that works for me. Aaron Milker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh God, I saw that. And wow, bad.
The one thing I can't fault Michael Ironside. He was acting his ass off in that. He knew what he was in, and I thought he wasn't half-assing it. You got to say that much.
No. They put their all into it, but there just wasn't a lot there to get.
You take away the alien aspect, and it would not even be on this list.
Well,
it may not be fantastic, but it would not be on this list.
It might still for me, only because of the fact that the other movie ended with "there can be only one," and there was only one. So yeah, I'm saying,
well,
Aaron Milker said, go ahead.
And then we got 2 other movies and multiple TV shows, and so there's always been more than one.
Right.
Although I nearly put Highlander: The Source on here because that one I felt was truly unnecessary. I really like Highlander Endgame, where you had both of the McLeods in there, just like from the series premiere of the TV show. But that one was mostly because they had a really good villain. Highlander: The Source really just had nothing.
Aaron says, I had the Renegade cut on VHS and I gave it to Sky. So apparently Sky I have to talk to. But he says it doesn't help much, but it helps a little bit.
It's a little bit of stab to put on the burn.
It takes about 60% of the glass out of the cut.
I don't think it's terribly hard to find. No. Well, I mean, the original, you're more able to find the original because they keep putting out anniversary versions of the original. But
yay! All right, James, what's your number 3?
My number three is from 1998, and it is Curse of the Puppet Master. Now, I imagine most people aren't fans of the Puppet Master franchise, and the later entries would give justification for that. But I thought the original was a good classic stop motion animation kind of puppets are going to kill you movie. The second movie continued the story from the first, and you get the third movie. And I know it's been brought up on the podcast. I don't remember who brought it up, where the part 3 goes back to World War II and gives the backstory to Toulon, who created the puppets. Fine. Then you have Puppet Master 4 and 5, which, again, you get a new guy, and the puppets are all of a sudden good guys, and they have a story that goes over part 4 and 5. They're not terrible. And then you go to number 6, where they just start all over again. It's this guy trying to put the soul of a person inside a robot, and it's just, holy crap, it's bad. For a franchise that for the previous 5 movies I enjoyed, and all of a sudden they just take a dive off the cliff. And it's not even that they had very far to go, because the budgets aren't that big. It's just you intentionally drove off a cliff, and
yeah, some of those are riding the edge of the cliff pretty hard.
Yeah.
Brian Haskell said, love Puppet Master and Full Moon. Yes, the latest are trash.
Yeah. Full Moon in the 90s had some awesome stuff.
They even had one of the Puppet Master entries is completely with the exception of maybe 5 to 10 minutes of bookended stuff, is completely made up of clips from previous movies. It's a clip show that they do from TV sometimes. But they did but they did an entire movie doing that.
We're gonna recap the entire franchise for you right now.
Oh, so disappointing.
Well, then you'll love my number 3.
Oh.
And so I love the original for this one too, because it introduced us to Sandy and John Travolta and Eddie Deason. And then Grease 2 came out and went, remember all that fun? Yeah, we're not going to give it to you this time. The only redeemable thing about that movie is the song Do It For Your Country. That's the only thing I like about that film. And Eddie.
But you've got Rex Manning in there.
No.
Yes, Rex Manning was the lead guy.
No.
I knew him. I don't even remember the actor's name, but
Maxwell Caulfield. I just looked it up.
I knew him from just before that. He really kind of started to come out from the spin-off show from Dynasty called The Colbys.
That had a spin-off show?
For some reason, I got hooked on this primetime soap opera of Dynasty, and then the spin-off The Colbys, and he was on there. So this was him in that movie. Now, admittedly, back in the day, I didn't know any better, and I watched that movie a bunch. But I was also close with some of my cousins, and they loved it too. So it was that. I had not gone back to it in a very, 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 very long time, and I have no intention to, because I know besides Let's Do It For Our Country, the rest of it just is a garbage heap.
Do you know
I will say, when I saw Grease 2, and my girlfriend's outside, so she can't hear me say this. I didn't think it was a giant step down from Grease 1.
I'm a teller. I still remember.
I'm going to tell her.
When I was with my ex, and we used to go visit her friend in Toronto, and her friend kept saying, "This is my favorite movie, Grease 2. I love this movie. I love it, love it." And I found it, and I hadn't watched it in forever. So I found it, and I bought it for her. We went up there, and I said, "Here, I got this for you." She was like, "Oh, thank you." We popped it in, and we're sitting there 10 minutes into it. She shut it off. And she goes, "This is not what I remember."
I'm quite sure it does not hold up.
Yeah. All right. In that case, let's get to number 2, Jason.
Number 2, 2015, Terminator Genesis.
What?
At this point, Terminator had been around for what? 20, 30 years? 25 years-ish?
I can't entirely argue against this, because my initial thoughts about the movie weren't that great.
For 30 years, we have been told, we have been taught, we have believed that John Connor is the savior of mankind. And then they go and fucking take the biggest steaming pile of shit on all of that 30 years of progress with this movie by making him now part of Skynet.
Had they left that out of the trailer, that would have been a better marketing move.
Look at this. Aaron Milko says, I actually like that one. Jason says, I was entertained by Genesis.
I know that's not a popular opinion, but that's how I feel.
No, it's probably 50-50 because I initially thought that way, and then I discussed with a coworker for the better part of a year, and I got turned around, and I really love that movie now, but I didn't initially.
Oh, Aaron's right. Time travel mixed with time travel makes new timelines consistently.
And even the director agrees that they really shouldn't have put that shit in the trailer. Because that was a big thing about...
Sorry. Keep going, sorry.
I was just saying, it was a big thing about Terminator 2 was that you didn't know that Arnold was the good guy in the movie until the movie came out.
Yep.
So not knowing that John Connor was the bad guy would have been on... I don't know if it would have been equally as jarring, but just, Jesus, guys, come on, think a little bit.
Saved. Yeah. Here's Aaron. Aaron said Terminator 3 was trash.
No, it wasn't.
In my opinion, yes, but it didn't make me as angry as what Genesis did. But Aaron, you also mentioned about you were disappointed that Matt Smith wasn't anymore. 100% agree. Matt Smith was one of the main reasons I actually gave the movie a watch.
He could have been. They could have maximized his use because he was pretty menacing in the little bit you got.
Doctor Who. You know,
yeah, but I'm not
white hot, and they spoiled it.
Yeah.
Matt says you really only need the first two.
Yeah.
You can't argue that
logic. Dark Fate was fun.
And there's another one where the first one was more horror sci-fi. And then,
yeah, it's more of a horror movie. Yeah,
same dude.
Yeah, that's an excellent point.
James Cameron gets a hold of shit and changes it.
Yep.
Well, he gets a hold of his own stuff.
I'm interested now. Okay. James, number 3.
Okay, number 3. Number 2. Yeah, that's right. Okay, number 2. Mine is a sequel to a movie from 1989 called RoboJocks. I loved RoboJocks. Giant robots with people in them fighting each other to decide issues between countries. It was awesome. Then they decide, you know what?
The effects don't hold up. Let's just preface that the effects do not hold up, and they were limited even in that day.
It's been a long time, but anyway, I get Robot Wars is coming out, supposed sequel. I want giant robots fighting each other. No, you don't get that. You get these. We're gonna put people in a robot that's just walking along the ground across. Oh my God! It fucking sucks. They just decided. They initially apparently had a sequel in mind, and they just decided to throw it in the trash and go with something else that was totally unrelated and just call it. First there was RoboJocks. Now there's Robot Wars. It has no connection, and it is totally abysmal. So 1993 Robot Wars.
Okay, that's what I think. What's the actual title?
It's irrelevant because it's horrible. Robot Wars.
Yeah, what drew me to RoboJocks, not only because what it was, but the lead actor that I don't
from Alien. Yeah, the guy from Alien Nation, the TV show. Yeah,
exactly. That's what I remember. Yes,
exactly. Yeah,
same connection.
And as a kid, it was a fun movie.
Yes, it was back then.
Yes,
it was.
I have not seen it in decades, but I hold it. My nostalgia, my childhood self holds it in high regard.
I know that the CGI effects were not great. I accepted them because the movie had its charms. Even for my taste back then. But I know damn well if I were to see that now, it would not hold up. Alien Nation, the flick, that was a nice dramatic cop flick.
That I've never seen. I've only ever seen the TV show and at least one of the TV movies.
Matt said he loved RoboJocks and Alien Nation. The movie is good. I've never seen the TV show, but the movie is good.
Well, the movie has Mandy Patinkin, so I have high hopes for that.
And James Caan.
Yes.
Well, my number 2 is again a franchise I don't think you'd expect to see on here. 1995's Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers.
I fast forwarded through that, but I've been holding out to see the producer's cut, and I can't find it.
Yet another franchise killer.
I nearly had Halloween.
Never watched, but that's the stink that's all over.
Oh shit! I forgot about Halloween Resurrection. Damn it. Although I almost had the original Halloween 2 on here just because it was so boring.
Oh, just a little timeout for that.
What? You like the original Halloween 2?
I love 1, 2, and 4. To me, that is amazing.
Mm.
But The Curse of Michael Myers, the only good redeemable thing out of that movie is the introduction to Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
That is literally it. Because
does the producer's cut does it do
much?
No?
It just leaves it more open-ended.
Okay.
Because at the end of the theatrical cut, you have Michael down in a warehouse with Loomis. He goes back in to take care of him, and all you hear is screaming. In the producer's cut, it turns out that under the mask of Michael Myers was the doctor, and it then shows Michael dressed as the Man in Black walking away into the sunset.
That doesn't make any sense.
Welcome to the club. That's right.
Fair enough. I can stop looking now.
Oh, Jason says, I feel as the horror genre could easily fill its own top 10 without effort. Oh,
he's not wrong.
He is so accurate. That's right. Okay, let's get to it now. Jason, number 1.
Yeah. Fuck it. Last Jedi.
What? You can't.
God damn it. No,
what?
What The Force Awakens
it's
was
so good.
Like a nostalgic, brought me back. It took me back to the Star Wars. It had enough of the homage. I don't care if it was a carbon copy of A New Hope. It worked for me on every level. I really, really, really love that movie. And The Last Jedi just took this lovely piece of work and just went.
It was so much fun.
And then threw it up in the air. And the Rise of Skywalker tried to fix it, but it just couldn't even come close.
1,000%. No.
That's 10,000%.
He's wrong.
Yeah. Even Aaron says the Last Jedi was a steaming pile of dog shit, and the director should be taken out on the street and beaten.
I don't want to go that far. I don't constitute violence. Plus
Ryan Johnson has made some of the best movies ever made.
Everybody, Jason just said Star Wars is off limits.
He's too late.
Being
too
part
late. Rise of Skywalker was always on the list.
He must not have heard that. We'll not talk about it. But being part of the 501st, he's got official word here. So we can't go against that.
I love all the Star Wars movies. If I was going to put any of the Star Wars movies on here, it'd be one of the original trilogy, but I won't because they're all great.
There we go. Okay. Oh, what happened?
I wonder what happened.
No, dude, that wasn't me this time. I swear to God.
It was karma, huh?
No, I'm on my laptop. I have the control too.
Forgot somebody else has control over there. That's right.
Whatever.
Aaron said, loved episode 7, and Ryan Johnson destroyed JL. Oh, what JJ set up. Sorry, yes. Yeah. And it was stupid. Ryan Johnson is a great director, just not here.
Yeah. This was a swing and a miss for Ryan Johnson. Because he followed this up with Knives Out,
which was phenomenal.
Exactly.
It was good. It wasn't phenomenal, but it was good.
Knives Out was one of the best movies of that year.
Well, just for the rest of the show, let's remember Star Wars is off limits.
Hey, it's not on my list.
Well, then we're good because you're the last one. Number 1, James.
Both of you. Crapping on Rise of Skywalker.
We have technical difficulties.
Both better than Force Awakens. Come on. Anyway.
What's your number one, James?
My number one is from 2002. It is a sequel to one of the best Canadian movies ever made, and a great indie horror / sci-fi film that came out in, let's see, it was 1997. Great Canadian actors in it. And the second one had some good Canadian actors in it, but they just decided to... Oh, this movie makes me so mad. They just decided to throw a bunch of effects at the wall, and see what stuck. And that'll make the movie better and make it all futuristic, and then make it all, it boils down into a little... Oh, God. It's Cube 2 Hypercube.
Okay.
I only ever watched the first one.
And, well, I was hesitant to watch Cube 0, which was the third one, which would ended up being a prequel. But they had a very interesting tie-in to the original movie, so I give it a pass for that. But Cube 2 Hypercube, they just decided to... It was all effects and no story. And by the end of the movie, the one person who survives, they end up shooting her in the head anyway, and the whole cube dissolves into a little puddle, like something that like a T-1000 from Terminator 2 came from. It's like that entire cube fit into a little puddle of like just liquid metal. And no, fuck you. No.
Just no.
No. It was awful.
Aaron here said, I like the first movie, but I've never seen the sequels. And then Ryan said, I didn't hate the second, but it was a letdown for sure because I love the original.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, the original
was really good.
So good. Oh my goodness. Yeah. It's the epitome of shitting on the original.
And like Jason says, rule number 1, do you shit on the source material?
Yep.
Yeah.
Aaron here, this is a comment from before. I said Ryan Johnson and Michael Bay should take a long drive off a short pier together.
No.
Little harsh,
Michael,
but they could do it, and the camera angle would hit just the right amount of lens flare just as the car explodes.
Exactly.
Michael Bay's only got one misstep, in my opinion, and that was Pain and Gain. Ryan Johnson, no, he's pretty well. I mean, Knives Out wasn't his best, but I'd say, batting close to 1,000.
Aaron like that.
All right.
All right. Well, there we go. My number 1, you guys knew, Highlander 2.
Yeah.
I had already commented on that one. Yes.
Matt asked at one point back in the comments if anybody was going to mention Caddyshack 2. I do have that as an honorable mention.
I actually saw that years, like decades before Caddyshack 1. I saw that in the theater.
I missed that comment. Yeah. Hey guys, what about Caddyshack 2?
I didn't hate it when I saw it in the theater, so I can't really speak against it.
I missed his comment just like I missed the film.
Yeah, you didn't miss much. It just got way too silly and goofy, and Chevy Chase is just totally nuts.
I thought it was pretty good, and I thought the original was pretty good, and yeah.
Jaws 3. Yeah.
Which Jaws ends with the shark jumping out of the water so high that the boat spears it?
Revenge.
4?
Revenge.
Okay.
That's my last honorable mention, actually.
That's one of my honorable mentions too. Yep.
I've only seen the entirety of 1, and it's decent. I don't need to see the sequels.
Anchorman 2 was like not good, but it didn't make me angry.
It has its moments. It has its moments.
See, I took that with a grain of salt because, like with every Will Ferrell movie, you either love it or you hate it.
Kinda,
And this was just not a hit. That's all.
It had a great marketing promotion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did. It was all through Ram trucks and Dodge and everything. Yes, I remember it vividly. All right. Well, guys, thank you for that list. Now, next week, remember, our episode's on Tuesday. Because
is it? Are we at the GME next week?
Yep.
Yes.
Last
Already?
of every month.
Yes.
Jesus. That came out of
works
nowhere.
for me because I'm not here next Monday.
See,
I don't remember what are we playing? I don't remember.
A game.
Well,
we don't have it set up yet. We don't know.
Oh, okay.
Find it when we get there. Chris has got a huge selection of games to pick from, so we'll find something.
I say we do Star Wars Escape from the Death Star.
Oh, I like that idea too.
I haven't played it in so long.
Deez Nuts says, good show. Thanks, Deez.
Thanks.
Or
Thanks.
Is it Deez or Mr. Nuts? Which do you prefer? But yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
We'll go back to
I have one now and then.
Yes. We'll go back to our show. Okay. I'll get a hold of Chris, make sure it is there and available. And
or just bring yours.
Thanks, Matt.
Mine too. Yes, thanks, Matt. Matt, anybody else? GME next Tuesday. Come on out. We'll be playing Escape from the Death Star live.
Woo!
Right?
All right.
See who the first one to get off the Death Star is. And back to Yavin. You got to remember that. The title's deceiving. It's not just getting off the Death Star.
I don't know if I should tell you this, but I already know my strategy.
Really?
Yes.
Let the Wookiee win?
Remember Otis?
Otis.
I'll let you think on that one.
Great thinking.
Just remember Otis.
I don't want thinking. Aaron has dropped a link. Board game Robotech Attack.
Oh.
And then he said, do that one at some point. It's great. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, sadly,
Robotech tabletop game.
Interesting.
I'm very interested.
Click on links here, but yeah, once the show's done, I'm going to take a look because we'll throw that on the list. Maybe someone needs to make the drive from London and come play with us. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You can bring Sky, and he can bring the Renegade cut on VHS.
There you go.
Right? And then we'll do a view and review.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, I guess that's it, guys.
All right.
Cool.
He says, okay, I can bring my copy. Oh, that's even better. There we go. So, Aaron, last Tuesday of every month, you pick the Tuesday. Let us know, and we will. And the VR stuff for later. Damn right. Yes, we still have to do that. He got me hooked on it. I found out it was 4 years ago, and it was like 3 months ago. I finally got the last piece, so I've been playing VR.
Nice.
Yep. Next time you guys come over, which will be in 2 weeks, we'll christen the podcast about the lounge, but we'll try a little VR.
Sure.
Cool.
All righty. In that case, for another week at the Movie Madhouse, I'm Rob.
I'm James.
I'm Jason.
We'll see you all later.
Bye.
Toodles.
Shut up! It's a man!